So I know there's been this video online going around where you see people taking a piece of paper and then telling the person, all right, call this paper, insult this paper, whatever, and every time the paper gets insulted, it gets crumpled. So I'm gonna tell you why that's wrong. Let's say, for instance, look at this paper. You get to be part of the experiment here. So look at this paper. Now, insult that paper like it was a person. Say something insulting. Number one, first insult. Okay. Second insult. Okay. Third insult. Okay. Fourth insult. Another insult. Another one. Another one. Another one. Now, we have this, right? This represents the person of what we don't really see. Now, what people are not aware of is it's not necessarily the person that is representing, it's their ego. It's their confidence. And ego and confidence can go hand in hand, but they're actually very separate, and a lot of people don't realize you can separate them. This last summer, I had a friend try to use this method against me because I told him some very hurtful truths about himself that he needed to know because he had toxic behavior he needed to correct. And instead of acknowledging that he had that behavior and correcting it, he tried to use this method as a scapegoat against me. So there is a difference between insulting and constructive criticism. A lot of people mistaken constructive criticism for insults, and they end up feeling like this paper. Because people don't remember a person by what they say. They remember somebody by how that person made them feel. And if you're a type of person who gives constructive criticism because you want to see people prosper, you're going to end up making a lot of people who are not aware that ego and confidence can be separate. You're going to make them feel like this paper. Look, you can't undo those wrinkles, right? But what people don't realize is that even though you can't undo these wrinkles when it comes to constructive criticism, those wrinkles is symbolic to wisdom. No one should undo wisdom, and the only way you can gain wisdom is through pain, and pain is beauty. Just like the white hairs in our head as we get older shows proof of experience because it shows that you've been around longer than other people who don't have these white hairs. So you have ego. And if your ego's been damaged, a lot of people don't realize that's kind of okay. Because the ego was never meant to control our lives. And that's why a lot of people suffer. Because we have this safety blanket of the ego. We have like this safety blanket, and if other people wrinkle our safety blanket, we get emotional and upset about it because now it doesn't look pretty. But what Jesus does is he takes the ego and the confidence, and he helps you become aware of how to separate the two. Confidence and ego, right? So they're separate now. The more you unite yourself with Jesus, you realize how separate they are. So you have your confidence here. Let's put that down to the side. You have your ego. Look how big it is compared to confidence, right? they're about the same size, but they just look slightly bigger than the other. So when you get to that stage of your life where you become one with Jesus and he helps you separate the two, you realize that your confidence and your ego are not the same thing. They're actually two very different things that seem similar. And then you realize that your confidence is not really as big as your ego. And as time goes on, the longer you walk with Jesus and learn about him, your confidence becomes bigger and the wrinkles start to smooth out as your ego starts to get insulted by Jesus, believe it or not. But Jesus tells the ego, what are you doing? You're not in control. My Father in heaven's in control. You don't have the power. You have sinned, and I've shown you mercy and grace. And you only receive the power with me inside of you, and me inside of my Father, and so forth. So just as iron sharpens iron, as the word of truth starts to insult the ego, pride, selfishness, self-centeredness, it all gets broken down and broken down and broken down until it's just, even you take the holy water, and then this becomes all mushy. And you ever look of how paper is made, especially recycled paper? Recycled paper, they take water and then they mush it all up. So for instance, let me see here, what could I take to mush this all up? I wish I could kind of cut to, like, let's cut to a instruction of how to make recycled paper really quick. Hurry, cut to the tape. No. But let me give you a quick example. I'm going to run to my sink real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so the water, holy water. We are baptized not by the water, but really by the fire of the Holy Spirit. But John the Baptist would baptize people in water to symbolize of what was to come. Because Jesus walked on water, the water became holy. And we're 80% water. But look what the water did to the paper. Look what the water did. And what Jesus is the living water. Look what he did to your ego when you accept him and you become baptized in him. It's all mushy. It's all mushy. Where are the wrinkles? Oh wait, there's no more wrinkles. It's been made new. All the wrinkles are disappearing because now it's deconstructing. That's a renewing of the mind. Destroying the pride and the ego and starting over with a blank slate, an empty mind. And Bruce Lee said, empty your mind. Be like water. When you put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. That's why the body is the temple, because Jesus is the living water. So when the Spirit of truth of Jesus comes inside of us, he becomes us. And we become him, and we are one in him. Look, this paper's falling apart. But what's really cool is that even though this paper is getting all mushed up, right? It becomes original form of when you start making paper. And then you could literally recycle this paper and make new paper. I've seen it done before. I should just make an instructional video so we could cut to that, so I could show everyone how it's done. And the paper becomes new paper. And on the new paper there is no wrinkles. So you have your confidence here, right? Because now let's just say, for example, this becomes your new ego. Let's just say that was the recycled, reconstructed, made into new paper. Because I can't do that right now in the time that I have allowed. But let's just say this is it. This is your new ego. But this time your ego's not self-centered about you. Like your little baby blanket or pacifier to make you feel good. This time your ego is grounded in Jesus and the All-Creator to worship Him, to show everyone that Yahuwah Nessi, the Lord is my banner. Your ego turns into a banner for the All-Creator. And you have your confidence here, right? So after you get baptized, you have your ego, your new ego, that honors the All-Creator. It's a reflection of Him. Your pride is His pride. You're not ashamed. This is like your flag, your banner. Then you have on here, just like when the non-believers take the mark of the beast, the believers take the mark of the All-Creator, Yahushua Nessi. Yahushua, Jesus is my banner. Elohim is my banner. God of Israel is my banner. So this is your new ego. It has Yahushua Nessi on it, right? This is your flag. This is your ego now, not you. This is praise and worship and showing how proud you are to belong to the All-Creator, the Spirit of Truth. But you still have this confidence because you're still walking in it, right? So now your ego is strong because it's not your ego anymore. It's your banner. Your ego turns into your banner for the All-Creator. But you're still on your walk with Jesus as this is happening. So your confidence is there. Just like the disciple who walked on the water that became holy. And because he was of little faith, little faith, your confidence is your faith. Your little faith with your banner. So your little faith with your banner, right? This is the secret to life. This right here. This is what all followers of Yahushua Mashiach look like. Jesus. This is what they look like in the spirit world of the unseen, of what we can't really see in the 3D. This is what Satanists see, and they don't want you to know. Some Satanists might tell you that a lot of them know that you're not aware of your own power. So a lot of them know that you're not aware that it looks like that. But don't worry, you're going to become aware. So your confidence, as you become more aware of this, starts to get smoothed out. But the wrinkles don't go anywhere because you start to become aware that those wrinkles, just like the wrinkles on our face, aren't ugly. Pain is beauty. Those painful memories of those wrinkles need to be there because it gives you experience, it gives you discernment, it gives you wisdom. It gives you seniority to teach the younger generation how to get this, how to separate their ego from their confidence. It gives you the power, the knowledge, and the ability to not only attain the secret to life, but to share the secret to life and teach it. It gives you a position of authority. So next time you have someone come at you with, you see this paper? Insult this paper. Insult the paper, insult the paper, insult the paper. If they do that to you after you gave them constructive criticism, then you need to cut that person off because they're toxic. Now, if they do that to you, because they really are giving you constructive criticism, you need to allow the pain to happen to your ego, because they were put into your life for a reason so you could change for the better. But the only way you would be able to tell the difference of someone who's actually good for you and someone who was sent by the devil, someone who's sent by God doing this paper method, will explain it just like I have to you. Just like I had. But someone, so a lot of people who are good people, even there are some Christian people who the devil will use to attack you. Sometimes even your closest family members that you wouldn't even expect. So praying and asking for the spirit of discernment is very crucial if you ever come at a crossroad like that, because it becomes a crossroad. When someone presents that method to you, their intentions are known immediately, whether they're aware of it or not. Because a lot of people don't realize, and that's why Jesus said, please forgive them, they don't realize what they're doing. Because that's what they did to Jesus. They did that paper method to Jesus, right? But they didn't realize that he was actually going through, he was stuck at that crossroad between, God's will of the Lord is my banner, but the ones who weren't aware that they were being used by the devil to do the toxic version of that, and saying, look, you can't fix it now, you can't fix it. Actually, yes, you can. You're just not aware it can be fixed. So think about it, even Jesus' own mother accidentally was like doing the toxic version of that, saying, look, you can't, what are you doing, my poor son, what are you doing, stop, right when he was about to be crucified. And what did Jesus say to his own mother? Right? He turned to his disciple and said, look, this is your mother, this is your son, I have to go do what I have to do. That right there in the Bible is proof that even the devil will use someone very close to you that loves you very much, who's not aware of what they're doing. Of course, Jesus' mom knew that was going to happen, but when you're in shock because it's your child, rationality goes out the window because you're just like, oh my goodness, my child. So you're panicking. You just don't want your child to get hurt, but it was predestined for him to go through that. So I hope this was informative. I hope this has helped everyone. I know there are going to be people who are going to have their own opinions about it, but If you're a person of science, then you understand that evidence is self-evident if you allow yourself to become the experiment. This is Honeybee Medicine Woman, and I hope you have a good day. Take care.